The following program contains sexual content. Viewer discretion advised. Today on Dr. Phil, she claims her ex molested their daughter.
Absolutely not.
You are a sick individual.
You're coaching her.
We don't coach her. We don't say bad things about you.
You don't say bad things about me. You're doing it on national television.
My granddaughter has suffered at the hands of this animal.
You're telling me that 2 weeks after this man raped your child, you let him have visitation with her?
I didn't know what to do, Dr. Phil. I was unsure how truthful it was.
But now you're sure?
Yes.
You accuse him of the abuse, but you don't call the police for 16 days. That just seems like really unusual behavior for a mother of a molested child.
Dr. Phil, I will take a lie detector test right now for you. I swear to you.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Thank you. Yesterday, I sat down with Crystal, her ex-boyfriend Anthony, and her mother Barbara. Now, Crystal and Barbara accused Anthony of the unthinkable, sexually assaulting his and Crystal's 3-year-old daughter on at least 2 separate occasions. Now, Crystal claimed she was 100% certain Anthony raped her daughter because 3-year-old Marie's story has never once changed. Crystal claims she even recorded this home video a week after her daughter's first alleged sexual assault.
What did Daddy do to you?
He put a in the stinging.
He put a and it was stinging?
Yeah.
Now, despite what you just heard, Anthony was adamant that he has never touched his daughter inappropriately. He also accused them of brainwashing and coaching his daughter into making these unfounded allegations. Crystal said she's certain Anthony is a monster and promised she would do whatever it takes to protect her daughter, including going on the run. Here's what happened yesterday.
Anthony sexually assaulted our daughter. My daughter told me, my pee-pee is stinging. Please put medicine on it.
But how did he hurt you?
He put
6 months after the first incident, it was Christmas Eve when he brought her home. She just flat out said, Mommy, Daddy, I will never let them breathe the same air. Never.
She says, Mommy, my pee-pee is stinging. Please put medicine on it.
I just thought maybe she didn't wipe right.
But you waited 7 days to take her to a pediatrician?
It was about 5 days.
No, it was 7. Did you call the police?
Yes, I did. Right immediately.
The police report says you called 16 days later.
Anthony is a lying sexual predator monster.
no pee-pee, Daddy. He's a naughty daddy.
My justice for him will be if somebody put a Buick as he's screaming, no, no, no.
You mentioned the object that she was raped with, but you didn't mention it to the police.
No, I did.
It's not in the police report. I've got them all here, and it's not in any of them.
I would never molest my daughter. Crystal is a total liar. As soon as she turned 1 and I filed the paperwork for my custody, that's when everything took a turn. She accused me of holding my daughter down and committing a sexual act.
Anthony, did you molest your daughter?
Absolutely not, 100%. This has been coached from day one.
Show physical evidence and put me in jail.
I have.
Good.
He has in his
Get
hand.
lie
Please,
detectors,
show-
do everything
please,
we have
please
to do,
please
Dr. Phil. You are out of your mind.
Anthony is a devil. How would I describe him as a father? Has the pit sound. We don't want him in our lives. Goodbye, get lost, adios, see you later, hasta la vista, baby.
You want to know the truth, or you think you already know the truth?
No one convinces me. Do you understand that, Anthony? Satan, what I have heard from my granddaughter's mouth, I could throw up right here on the stage. You got a nerve.
If that's what I've done, then how did the judge turn it over 2 times? You psychomaniacs.
Hold on.
Pathetic.
Hold on.
Children don't lie. Babies don't lie.
2-year-olds get coached by people, by crazy people like you. You know you're lying.
You keep being the narcissistic drug
Okay,
addict.
Nana.
What I wear?
Nana, hold on. When people behave like this, it suggests to me that you're not wanting to get to the truth. Is it possible you're wrong?
No.
My daughter is living a nightmare. She'll scream for hours and cry and say no, 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 no.
She's not that child. She's happy.
Oh God, she's punched me right in the face.
She's an angel.
You don't seem to understand. If they observe that this child has been raped, they have 24 hours to report it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
The both of them are coaching this child to a T, no doubt in my mind.
We don't prompt this child. There's no need to. She does it all on her own.
You came out with a bold statement. I have irrefutable medical proof that this happened. On examination, you actually don't. Now, I want to take a look in some detail at what took place and how all of this unfolded. As I said, I've deconstructed this whole thing, and I think when you look at the sequence of events, it raises some questions at many different levels. June 29th, after visitation, she says her pee-pee hurts. Okay? You think nothing of it. There's no reason to, right? It's just something a child says. Kids say that a lot. But you say it's mentioned there, but you don't think anything of it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we get to July 6th. After visitation, pee-pee stings. Her father hurt her boopy. So at this point, there's a doctor exam for the abuse, but it's 7 days later. And you don't report it to the police for 16 days.
I was wrong for that. I do know that. I do know that.
That I don't understand. So let's see what happens on the 13th here that we talk about. You take the child to the pediatrician because of swollen genitals, and the doctor says, quote, no physical evidence of anything suspicious happening, not compelled to call DCF. Now that's what the pediatrician said when you took her there 7 days later. Now at that point, it had been 7 days. So if something had happened, it has 7 days to heal up, cure up, 7 baths, 7. So I just don't know. You're the first mother that's had a child that's reports having been raped that didn't take him to a healthcare provider for a week. So it could have, the evidence could have gone away in that period of time. Then on the 20th, you allow him to have visitation with the child.
I did not allow him.
I'm sorry?
I did not allow him. I did not allow him. They made me give him visitation. I never allowed it. Ever, ever.
Well, here's my problem. On July 6th, your child comes home and tells you that this man raped her with an object, and 2 weeks later, you deliver her into the hands of a known rapist?
I did not do that. I did not want him to have visitation after she told me what happened to her.
Did you deliver her to him on the 20th?
No, I did not.
Did you have visitation on the 20th?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
Why did I?
Because you had visitation.
Okay. And how many times did I go there with the police that I didn't get her,
Plenty.
whether court order or not? You didn't care. So I'm a harm, but you're giving me my daughter back. Makes a lot of sense, don't it?
No, I did not. I never gave her to you after that.
You didn't give it to me. Allowed visitation on the 20th. Who made you?
The law did, not
The
me.
law
I
did?
didn't
What
make
about
you.
the
I
other
didn't
20
make you.
times I went with a court order and you said no?
Someone has raped your child with an object, and you don't mention that.
It wasn't an object, it was his object.
You're telling me now it's not a stick? And later,
I could take a polygraph right now. I'm telling you, I did not rehearse this with her. I'll take a polygraph right now.
well, you actually kind of did. You're telling me that 2 weeks after this man raped your child with an object, you let him have visitation with her?
I did not let him have visitation.
Did he have visitation with her?
Might have had it with me, but not by himself. He did have supervised visits for a long time, Dr. Phil. He had it with me, supervision. He had it with his mother, supervision.
For 6 months, not 2 years.
Right. This only came out with the evidence that we've got.
I had to take something versus nothing with the parenting plan because you weren't willing to give an inch.
Anthony,
you
know
do
damn
drugs. You drink and drive.
Okay.
Your history.
Stop talking. No. Listen, I'm not interested in talking about his alcohol and drug behavior. If I don't care if he's a fallen down drunk and a meth addict. That's a whole different story. What I'm interested in is somebody explaining to me how a mother who believes that a man has raped her child with an object, 2 weeks later, with her, without her, says, yeah, let's go.
I didn't know what to do, Dr. Phil. I was unsure how truthful it was. I really didn't know. And I was wrong for waiting so long. I know I was.
You were unsure how truthful it was?
I did not know if children lied about that kind of thing. I really did not know. Once I found out.
But now you're sure?
Yes. Her story has not changed one bit.
God, you need help.
You need help, Anthony. She has not, she keeps talking about it like it was
Let's
yesterday.
continue the timeline.
So then 5 days later, you file an order of protection against Anthony. And you did not include in the statement anything about the use of an object. Someone has raped your child with an object, and when you file an order to limit him, you don't mention that.
It wasn't an object, it was his object. It wasn't a stick, Dr. Phil. She keeps putting things in my mother and me, and let's not worry, it's not gonna tickle, it's only gonna tickle, it's not gonna hurt. She does this on her own. Nobody's coaxing her, nobody's telling her to do these things. She's doing this on her own.
You don't seem to understand that I don't take deflection.
I'm not deflecting, that's really how it happened.
No, you're trying to,
no,
you're
I'm
just not.
That's really how it happened.
You're telling me that 19 days after your daughter tells you she's been raped by this man with a stick, and you're telling me now it's not a stick?
It is his.
She says stick.
She says stick.
And we don't argue with her. We don't
tell her what it is.
What kind of stick? How was it? You don't do that.
That's what her therapist
let her
did.
speak and she speaks. That's all.
Her therapist asked all those questions, not
Listen
me.
to what she hears in that household.
Really, Anthony? Come on, Anthony.
The mouth on you, too.
Really, Anthony?
Okay.
Think about what you're saying.
Well, either way, you don't mention that when you file this order.
I'm pretty sure I did. I don't know. Dr. Phil, if I knew about that.
They just left that out.
If I knew about it, I had to have said it. I know I wouldn't have not said it if I knew about it. It has been 2 years since all that happened.
Well, you told us that's what she said that night.
It is what no, what happened. That's what she said that day. Is that her daddy hurt her pee-pee. Yes. Her daddy. It really hurt. What she said.
Okay, so she did say it.
Yes.
And then you didn't say it when you filed the order.
I don't know how that would have happened. If I would have known that, I would have said it.
I wasn't with you when you filed the
You didn't say it because it didn't happen.
Anthony, it did happen. It did happen, and I know it happened, and I know you did it to her. She wouldn't lie about it. You are her father.
You said, if I had known about it, I would have said it.
You knew about it.
So if I knew about it, then I had to have said it, and they might not have put it in the order.
And you didn't know about it then because you didn't say it. And the reason you didn't say it here is because she didn't say it here. Is that what you're telling me?
She did say it there.
Then you would have said it here, according to you. If she had said it here, you would have said it here. So if she didn't say it here, you wouldn't have said it here.
It has to be in the report somewhere in that report.
It is not.
No.
Well, that's a pretty odd thing to leave out.
Yeah, it is. It is.
My 2.5-year-old daughter has been raped. I forgot to mention that. Now, Barbara.
I wasn't with her when she filed the restraining order, but I know that in the police report, there's been a lot of stuff that went on. There's been a lot of inaccuracies. There really has been.
Don't you think that's a pretty big one to slip through the cracks?
Yes, yes it is. It's a pretty, yes, it's huge. Absolutely. 100%.
She comes home that night, says, "Daddy bleep, and it was disgusting." But you don't call the police. Well, he parks near your house and you call the police immediately. And later, when you're making certain statements about something that you say did happen, you're shaking your head no.
This is crazy.
I believe my 3-year-old granddaughter unequivocally. Her story does not vary, not an iota.
Without a doubt, I believe my daughter. She tells me the same story, and if it's not the same, it's more detail.
No, there was no way that my daughter told them any of the things that I'm being accused of.
Every time that I would ask her, "Do you want to go to your daddy?" "No, I don't want to."
No way. There's no part in my body, in my heart, that my daughter is saying the things that they're accusing her of saying. She's got to be being coached.
She takes the child to this Nancy J. Cotterman Center for Sex Abuse. Exam normal, could neither confirm nor negate any sexual abuse. She allows visitation to go get a Christmas tree.
They made me give her to him.
That's not Christmas Eve. He's talking December
No, that was
18th.
Christmas Eve. This is a week
Yes,
before.
he had visitation. If I
Okay.
didn't allow him to get visitation, they would have taken me to jail.
So you've now delivered your daughter to a known rapist the second time.
I didn't deliver her.
Okay. Again, despite the allegation, then prosecution declines to file the case. There's no reasonable likelihood of conviction. Then on the 24th, the police ordered visitation. She comes home that night, says, "Daddy bleep, and it was disgusting." And you do not call the police. You call Anthony on Christmas Day and accuse him of the abuse, but you don't call the police.
I'm missing files somewhere. I know I did.
I'm sorry?
I know I did had to have reported that, Dr. Phil.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I know I had.
On Christmas Eve. We did not call the police on Christmas Eve.
I didn't call
It was 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, you're right.
You didn't call
You're
him
right.
on Christmas
No.
Day either.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
No.
You didn't call him on Christmas Day either. But January 1st, you allowed visitation. 1 to 2 hours afterwards, Barbara calls the police about the alleged event here. So a week later, you turn your daughter over to a known rapist for a third time. And then your mother calls the police. So you've allowed this despite the second accusation 7 days earlier. Now, June 9th, you take the child to the same pediatrician that you did back on the 13th. And this is when they report child sex abuse suspected from the subsequent encounter down there because of what you wrote. And on July 9th, you say Anthony parks near Crystal and Barbara's apartment, and so you call the police immediately. So he parks near your house and you call the police immediately. That just seems like really unusual behavior for a mother of a molested child.
I know. Crystal's very literal, and she has issues with certain things, and she doesn't, and I'm not going to force her or push her. I'm 60, she's 36. It's her child. She needs to do what she needs to do. I support her. I heard. I see. I know what he does.
It's our child, not yours.
Not my child. I have
Our child, not yours.
You did enough to her, Anthony.
But you understand that she has a full belief that he's done something inappropriate with the daughter in the bathroom, does not call the police.
It was Christmas Eve. It was believe me, we couldn't get the child to go to sleep. It was
in the
really,
middle of the night. It
really
wasn't even
very upsetting. She didn't want the child to go to begin with. We had the cops, he's banging on doors, my ex-husband, and I mean, he was just like out of his mind. And the police, after he took the baby, the police read the report from the doctor and he said, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry that I forced the issue. So in all actuality, I blame the police for forcing the issue, scaring her that they were going to take her to jail if she did not allow the baby to go with him. It was very horrific. It really was.
So what really happened here? We're going to talk about what I think is going on when we come back.
We don't say bad things about you. We do not.
You don't say bad things about me? Are you out of your mind?
Never.
You're doing it on national television. How many false accusations are there going to be?
My daughter says, I want a new daddy. She's asked me to get her a new daddy.
Mommy, can we buy a new daddy? Well, let's go to Walmart. Let's go see if we can find one on sale today.
She loves her dad. She just doesn't want to be anywhere near him.
My granddaughter has suffered at the hands of this animal, and she shouldn't have had to. She was brought into this world an innocent child. And I'll do what I have to until my dying breath to help my granddaughter.
You're leaning heavily on what the child has said. And we saw a little bit of this video earlier, but now I want to really examine this. Here is Crystal's 3-year-old daughter back in July of 2016 when she was only 2.5 years old. So this is back at the beginning of the timeline. So this is after July 6th, when supposedly you're now saying that she was raped, not with an object, but just by her father.
I'm just saying that's what she said. She said stick. I don't know what else could be a stick.
Well, that little girl didn't know
Okay, according to Crystal,
she doesn't know what it meant. She doesn't know what it.
This video was taken 1 week after what Crystal alleges was Anthony's first sexual assault on their daughter. So let's take a look at this recording.
What did Daddy do to you?
He hurt it.
How?
That's hurt me.
But how did he hurt you?
He put his and it stinging.
He put his in your and it was stinging?
Yeah.
Did he ever do that to you before?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Did you tell him that it hurt?
Yeah.
And did he stop?
Yeah, he did stop.
I'm so sorry that Daddy hurt your.
You are a sick individual.
You are a sick individual.
Let's look at December, and then we'll talk.
I need to make a phone call.
Who do you want to call?
And Janine.
Do?
Yeah.
What do you want to tell her?
I'm gonna call my dad first.
Okay.
I think he's not answering the phone.
Try.
Oh, it's my dad.
Okay.
I pushed the phone button like that. It's a green one.
Tell him what you want to tell him.
No peeping, Daddy. He's gone. He disappeared. He's a naughty daddy.
He's a naughty daddy.
Yeah.
How come nobody told me about this?
I did.
I just did. She's trying to be articulate in her own little brain and figure out what's normal, what's not normal for a father and a daughter. Mommy, Nana, can you buy me a new daddy? Why would a child say these things? No, we don't say bad things about you. We do not.
You don't say bad things about me? Are you out of your mind?
Never.
You're doing it on national television. How many false accusations are there going to be?
Never to her. We never did that, ever.
Come on.
Ever.
Ask her therapist.
How much more can you coach a child?
What about your sister?
She says yes to 95% of what you ask her.
No, she she does not. No,
She
doesn't.
doesn't? She was in my possession for a year and a half.
Anthony, she does not. She does not.
Every time I picked her up and dropped her off,
we have never
she was fine. So we have two different trials. In my possession, she's an angel. In your possession, she's the devil, apparently.
She's not the devil. How did she bring up your sister?
Apparently. How many times are you going to try
Can you
it?
call his sister?
How many times are you going to try it? How many more people are you going to call? You going to call more judges? You going to call more cops?
I'd like to talk to your sister.
How many more are you going to call?
I'd like to speak to your sister.
Speak to whoever you'd like. This is beyond sickening. Beyond sickening. Beyond sickening. The two of you need help. Just because you got hurt or whatever in your day in childhood, don't mean you need to bring this to our child. My child is not going to be sneaking out of windows at 10 or 10 years old like you were.
It was not my
I'm sorry.
father.
That's my main fear. She's going to turn out like you two.
We think you're going to kidnap her like your father kidnapped you. Okay? When I'm telling you chicken wing man knocks at the door, she'll tell the chicken wing man, the Chinese food delivery, she tells these people. In my 60 years, children just don't say these things.
I have some great news.
Okay.
I have some great news. After looking at those two videos, in my professional opinion, no one has violated your granddaughter.
Thank you so fucking much. Thank you so much.
I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because I can't tell you across 45 years how many times I've interviewed children forensically that have been violated in that way. Her affect is all wrong. Her demeanor, her emotion, the tone of her voice, the tenor. What you're seeing there is she's playing a game. She's playing a game, and the story's too pat. It's devoid of pain. You're not seeing the trauma that would be associated with a child that had been raped by an adult. First off, she wouldn't want to be talking about it. She wouldn't be talking about, oh, let's call, let's do. Trust me, that's not.
She was with the therapist. He said to us after he had her, he has her on his own, that she does these things with the dolls, that she has seen that he showers with her. All of these things she told the therapist without us present. And he wrote a letter to the judge, spoke on Skype to the judge. We didn't know what else to do with her, but tried to get her help.
And I think you're very well intended. I do. I think you're very well intended. I think, I don't know whether you think I know what I'm doing or not, but I can tell you that the affect is not that of a child.
She's not afraid of us, so there's no reason for her to not tell us. There's no fear when she speaks about it. There is none. When I'm telling you chicken wing man knocks at the door, she'll tell the chicken wing man, the Chinese food delivery, she tells these people. To me, in my 60 years, children just don't say these things.
She's saying it because she doesn't understand the gravity of what she's saying because she hasn't been traumatized. The story is well rehearsed. She's willing to tell it.
This is what she does.
Phil, this is not rehearsed. I swear I could take a polygraph right now. I'm telling you, I did not rehearse this with her.
Well, everything that you've done involved in this situation is inconsistent with a mother of a child that has been traumatized in this way.
I agree with the beginning of this, that I did not call it in. I do agree with that, 100%. But Dr. Phil, I'm telling you right now, I did not hoax my daughter. I'll take a polygraph right now.
Well, you actually kind of did, because I want to take a look at something here.
I almost passed out. Actually, I think I vomited. I believe my daughter 100%. I have medical proof that she was sexually assaulted by her father. I want to expose him for everything that he is. The first time Anthony raped our daughter, she was visiting with her father.
I just picked a couple of examples, and I'm going to play this back for you to see. There's something that we refer to as micro expressions and leakage. When you're making certain statements about something that you say did happen, you're shaking your head no that it didn't happen. And when people are lying about something, they invariably will put their hands to their face and shake their head no. So let's take a look at this one more time and see if you shake your head no and put your hands to your face while you're talking.
This is crazy.
Actually, I think I vomited. I believe my daughter 100%.
That's the truth. That is exactly how it happened, Dr. Phil. I can tell you right now, I'm not lying.
Taken into context with all the other inconsistencies about having a child that tells you that she's been raped and you do nothing about it, and then deliver the child to the hands of the rapist not once, not twice, but 3 times. Don't call for help, don't call for doctors, don't call for law enforcement. There's just overwhelming inconsistencies here.
I was wrong for not doing that, Dr. Phil, but I will take a polygraph for you.
You tell me that I have irrefutable medical evidence when in fact you have none.
This is crazy.
I have to tell you that I have real questions about this. So what needs to be done here? I'll tell you when we come back. This is a very dysfunctional situation. Barbara, I don't know if you can help in this situation or not. I think these two have a very dysfunctional and combative relationship. I think sometimes we can lose ourselves in a situation and one thing leads to another and it just gains momentum. But I can tell you, to me, this isn't a close call. It's not easy for me to say this.
This is not true.
But, you know, when I see things that you say your daughter's been raped and then you file a police report and don't mention it, come on, Barbara.
I wasn't with her when she did
I didn't ask if you were with her. I'm asking, come on. Come on, be an adult here.
True,
be an adult and care about the child.
I do
care about the child
her.
here. Your daughter says that her daughter was raped. She files a police report and doesn't mention that. Come on. I'm telling you that this either needs to be acknowledged and dealt with, or there's going to be an intervention here because this child is not in a healthy situation. And she either needs to be removed from this home or something needs to happen.
Oh my daughter, Mom, you know this, she said this.
And I'm relying on you to be objective here. Does that make common sense to you?
And I wanted her to call, but
then
I
that
cannot
calls,
force her
but
to
the
do
fact is she didn't.
I know.
And the reason she didn't is because she didn't feel any genuine urgency to do so.
I think she was more afraid. She had been given bad advice.
Is that possible, or is it possible that she didn't feel any genuine urgency to do so because she knew
was afraid.
that there was not any real problem here?
No, she knew there was, but she had been given advice that was not right. Okay. And I kept telling her, don't listen to these people.
I'm sorry to hear you say that. I'm sorry to hear you say that and dismiss the alternative, because that means you're not really a resource for me here.
Dr.
I don't
Phil,
believe you.
I will take a lie detector test for you. I swear to you, I did not make my daughter say these things.
I'm happy for you to take a polygraph if you want to.
I will. I did not make my daughter say these things at all, ever. Never once did I tell her to say anything bad.
If this be the case, I would like to know why she is making this up.
I would never do that,
I don't believe she is, but where, hold on, let me finish. Why would she come up with this? Where would she come up with this? What would make her come up with this?
You guys coaching her.
We don't coach her.
Why would I do that and then call Dr. Phil?
I think,
we don't coach her.
Well, I'll answer both of those questions. One, why, and why you would call me. why you would call me is I think you greatly underestimated.
No, I didn't, Dr. Phil. I swear to you, I truly believe in you. No, I didn't. I tell you what, I'm telling you, I'll take a lie detector test right now. I never once said to my daughter,
and
ever.
You'll take a lie detector test just like you'll bring me medical proof.
I'll take a test right now. I'll walk up the stage and take a test right now for you. I swear to you, I will.
I know, and you won't pass it.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I never once told her to say anything about her father. Never.
You need to listen to me. And I'm very sorry about this. I think you've been damaged in your life along the way, and I don't think that you've ever had help with that. And I think that sometimes we project that pain on to people that we love, and we become so overprotective, and we kind of get paranoid, and we kind of get to the point that we see a snake under every rock, and we can really distort and embellish things to the point that you may actually believe some of the things that you're saying.
Oh my God.
But your behavior, both conscious and unconscious, suggests that you know better.
Dr. Phil, no. I've never once said
Okay, then tell me
her.
why you have a daughter that you believe has been raped and you don't call anybody for help the night that you find out about it.
I was scared.
You don't get that scared. You don't get so selfish that your fear overcomes your maternal responsibility to a child. And if you are so selfish that your fear overrides your responsibility to that child, then you're not ready to be a mother.
I never did this to her. I didn't do this to her. He did this.
You're showing a monumental lack of insight here, and I'm trying to help you every way I can. You need help. I will get you help. You're not being a resource here because you're enabling her to the point.
I don't want to enable her.
But
That's
you
why
are.
I didn't. Well, I could have forced her to call the police.
This is not about me,
She's not my
Dr.
child.
Phil.
She's my grandchild. It's her job to
You
call
need
the
to
police.
recognize the fact that your daughter has distorted reality here at the expense of your granddaughter.
Wow.
Now, you can dislike him all you want, and he may be the biggest sumbitch this side of the Mississippi. I don't know. But that and being a child rapist are two very different things.
What happened to my daughter?
Okay?
This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I never once said anything
He may
to her,
be a
said
horse's
anything bad
ass,
about
but
him.
being a horse's ass and a child rapist are two dramatically different
You both
things.
know I would never harm that
Anthony,
child in
I'm believing
any
my daughter.
way
I'm believing her. I never
whatsoever.
once said anything to her to tell you
Okay.
tell her anything ever.
Well, I'm going to offer help to this family. I'm going to offer help to you to try to get your bearings here. My job, as I see it, is to unify families, not break apart families. I want this daughter to stay with her mother and her father. I don't want to spin this child off into foster care. But that's exactly what's going to happen if I don't get some acknowledgement and awareness here, because I am a mandated reporter, and I am either going to fix this or I'm going to report it. I'm either going to get some acknowledgement and get a plan in place, or I'm going to report this before dark today. I want to thank all of my guests. I know this is being very difficult. I will keep you posted on what happens. I hope you're willing to stop stonewalling here and accept some help.
I'll take whatever you want to give.
Because if you don't, I'm calling DCFS and I'm reporting this, and I'm going to get this child to safety. One way or another.
Out of your possession.
We'll see you next time. All right, thank you. I hope you'll listen.